There are many te, or hand styles of martial arts, in karate. One is Shuri-te, Shuri being a small area in the southern part of Okinawa. It relies on quick movements, distance, and is considered better for taller people, although it can be used by any person. There's many shudo blocks, many long stances, and again, relying a lot more on balance and speed than power. Itosu Sensei is largely credited with the Shuri katas. These are the katas you learn first in shito-ryu. You also see them in other karate styles such as Shuri-te, some of them are in Shotokan, and a few other styles of karate. Kata and forms have gotten a bad name in the last few years, but much like with somebody that does cardio boxing or cardio kickboxing, of course they're not going to use their fitness in order to defend themselves. But with the right teacher and the right guidance, it's like learning to shadow box. It's like learning how to do any other movement that you get better at with constant repetition. Modern styles stopped using bonkai in any serious manner and stopped sparring or using it for practical application. Having the right teacher can teach you how to use kata in the same way a boxer or kickboxer shadow boxes. Naha-te style is from the Naha area of Okinawa, which is also towards the southern tip of Okinawa. This is considered to be more based off of the bubishi that comes from China. Many of the katas are named after numbers and steps, and many moves as far as pressure points, deep breathing, and a little bit more mystical sense of karate comes from the Naha system. You might recognize some of these katas from things like the Karate Kid, things like that. It's also credited with being more about grabbing, striking, and grappling than, say, the Shuri system is. Naha also went on to become Goju-ryu later, although again, there are other styles of karate that do some Naha systems. Other powerful rooted stances are usually used. It's more about centering and strength. Strength that comes from the ground, rooting, and more of a Chinese sense rather than that of just a muscular sense that you might think. There are more elbows, more diverse strikes than you see in Shuri-te, and again, more gripping and grabbing. Jigoro Kano, the founder of judo, is also credited with having a lot to do with Higiona Sensei and adding many throws, grapples, strikes, and other components into the Naha-te system. This system may be considered to be for a stronger, stockier person, but again, compared to yourself to someone else, there's always somebody a little bigger or a little smaller. The Tomari-te katas are comprised a little bit of Shuri, a little bit of Naha, and is used by several different masters, such as Aragaki, Matsumura, and many others. Katas such as Nipaipo and Nepai, that are more white crane than you see in many styles, are also credited as Tomari, although it may be argued they're from somewhere else. Tomari has a lot more balance to it, but it does has deep breathing, such as Naha has. It has quick movements, such as Shuri has, but it also has diverse hand movements and many other things that are original and not like Shuri or Naha, making it its own complete system, but definitely a brother in the family of these katas. People will often say there's too many kata. That's like having too many books in your library. If you don't like to read, you don't have to read them. The average number of kata from white to black are somewhere between 15 and 20, depending on which school you're at, And shito-ryu does have a lot of kata, but again, for the person that wants to learn, for the person that wants to progress, and the person is interested in history as well as the martial arts, shito-ryu can provide a lifetime of training. That, and it also can make every other martial art you train in better. Things like neuroplasticity, balance, breathing, many other things that help in other martial arts can be found in kata. The Mabuni katas, although none of these are actually just by Mabuni Soke or by his sons, these kata represent katas that were created post-World War II to help people with self-defense. They have quite a bit of Shuri, Naha, and Tomari within them. There are other self-defense aspects that Mabuni Soke had decided to put in with the style. Katas were developed later, but also Mabuni was one of the few people, along with Gichin Funakoshi of Shotokan, who were trying to possess and keep these katas in the public eye long after history had forgotten about them.